Hello and welcome to TC Sports. My name is Jacob Butzine alongside Aaron Clinker, and Andrew Schultz. Woo! Speaking is hard today, ladies and
I think our
gentlemen.
host just had a stroke. I'm not sure though.
Aaron Clinker was really hard to say, apparently.
Jacob is turning into Lee Corso by the day.
Not so fast, my friends. So we are on episode 16 of TC Sports. We just ended college football's championship weekend, and we will break down the winners of those games, and we only have one college football game to get into. And if you're a college football fan, you absolutely know what game we're going to be talking about, but we'll let you ride that out until we get there. So let's move into everybody's favorite segment, hot takes by the council. So we'll start with Andrew Schultz with our first hot take of this week.
So I've been circling through a few that I've had, you know. But I think I'm gonna go with this one.
Ooh.
Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes. And here's a few reasons why.
Is that the hot take?
That is a hot take, that Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes. So
I can get behind that.
Joey B doesn't have the scramble Houdini ability that Patrick Mahomes does. But Patrick Mahomes' big weaknesses, and the Bengals have put it on display multiple times, is that when it comes to like these primetime big games, Patrick Mahomes loves to go for the big play, and he refuses to take the short check down, easy 3-4 yard gain or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on display several times against the Bengals defense. He would have guys wide open in the flats and just refuse to throw it to them, and instead chuck a deep ball into double coverage. And what Joe Burrow does is, Joe Burrow reminds me a lot of like Peyton Manning when Peyton Manning was on the Colts, where he just knows what a defense is doing, and he is willing to take, like, hey, this is the read they're giving me. I know this guy's going to be open. Even if it's only a 5-yard gain, I'm going to take that 5-yard gain because it's 5 yards I don't currently have, and it's better than throwing a stupid deep ball into double coverage.
Interesting.
So I'm saying specifically just at the quarterback position, being a better quarterback, not necessarily better player, because if Mahomes' athletic ability is definitely better than Burrow's. But at just being a pure quarterback, Burrow, I think it's better than Mahomes.
I'm not necessarily going to agree or disagree, because I think it's really you're comparing apples to apples at this point, and you're comparing, does this apple have more bruises or what? And I think I guess not necessarily agree, but I'll go with your hot take only because Joe Burrow has probably one of the worst offensive lines, if not the worst offensive line in the NFL, and is still successful, while Patrick Mahomes probably has one of the better offensive lines. He doesn't have the greatest, but
the Eagles' offensive line is by far the best. Jalen Hurts has more time to throw than probably just Sean Watson's been on the field. So
I think Joe Burrow is great. I think he has the Chiefs' number, and I think they're peaking at the right time. If they can get everyone healthy, meaning, honestly, Samaje Perine is kind of doing better than what Joe Mixon has been doing all year. So if they can get healthy and they can beat the teams they should, they're easily back in the playoffs, maybe even fighting for the 2 seed. They could possibly fight for the 1 seed, but they need a lot to happen. So
I'd say there is a very big possibility the Bengals could have the 1st seed come playoff time. But I'd say that the next thing that needs to happen is they need to beat the Bills, because say the Bills have like a worse record by like 1 or 2 games against the Bengals are going to have the head-to-head. And the Bills would have the head-to-head over the Chiefs. So, but come January when it's playoff time, we could very well see Bengals 1, Bills 2, and Chiefs at 3. That is a very big possibility, but we'll have to see.
Maybe we'll see. It'll all play itself out in 4 weeks.
We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the NFL is people are separating themselves at this point. It's getting interesting. So, we already have 2 teams eliminated: the Bears and the Texans. Poor things, bless their little hearts.
I thought the Texans got eliminated in preseason.
The Bears haven't been good since Mike Ditka.
So yeah. We'll see what happens. So let's move on. Aaron, let's get your hot take.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Andrew kind of stole my hot take for whatever.
It's my bad.
No, you're good. I was honestly pleasantly surprised to see that we had the same hot take. I'd say that my hot take would be that the Lions, aside from this Sunday, are going to win out and make the playoffs.
Say that one more time.
The Lions, after this week, not starting this week, after this week, and we know why, are going to win out and make the playoffs.
I mean, if they lose this week, I don't really think they're making the playoffs.
Well, there's a chance we do. There's still a chance we do. We have the head-to-head against New York and Washington, which are 2 key teams that are ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
And they both got tough schedules remaining. Detroit has the 3rd easiest schedule remaining behind the Rams and the Vikings. The Vikings have the easiest remaining, then it's the Rams, then it's Detroit. After the Vikings, we have the Jets, the Bears, the Panthers, and the Packers to finish off the season. The Packers very well are most likely to be mathematically out of the playoffs by then. So they'll probably play Jordan Love, and the Lions kind of own Jordan Love. I think we can beat the Jets. Their defense is really good, but their offense is pretty weak. And then you have the Panthers, who are just a tire fire. And then you have Chicago, but it's in Detroit. So Detroit playing at home is much better than they are on the road. And that's the good advantage about our schedule is we only have 2 road games left. And I think it's the Packers and the Jets. Everyone else is at home. So I definitely can see the Lions winning out. But it's the Lions, so I wouldn't be surprised if they lose out.
At least you guys are going to have 2 hot draft picks if you lose out.
At least we have a top 5 pick. That's probably secured because Baker Mayfield isn't going to do jack diddly squat over there in LA.
I'm going to laugh so hard if he just goes back to the way he was playing in 2020 down the stretch. And I know the Rams aren't making it, but I will laugh so hard if that happens.
I mean, if they win out, they'll end up being, I think, 7-9, or no, 8-9.
8-9, yeah.
So that's
7. Yeah,
are they winning
7
out?
10, I think.
Well, they have 9 losses, so if they win out, they'll be.
I pray that they don't win out. Give me Will Anderson on Detroit with Aiden Hutchinson. That would be scary for everybody else.
I mean,
I'm shaking in my boots.
The only teams I think they're going to beat is the one team and that's Denver. I think they're going to lose to Las Vegas and Green Bay and the Chargers in Seattle.
I think the Rams might lose out. I honestly think they might.
Maybe.
They're talented, but they might lose out.
They'll be tanking for Caleb Williams this time next year. I'm calling it.
Them in Houston, after taking Stroud #1 overall, they'll still be tanking.
We'll see.
I think they're taking Bryce Young.
Houston's just dead. Now, Stroud, I think, is the #1 clear pick.
Boo.
Bryce Young's knock is his height. He's only 6 foot, which to me isn't a big deal. He's the same height as Tua, but Stroud physically is taller. So,
well, I guess if we're talking physical attributes, yes, Stroud is the #1 pick, but I would take Bryce Young. That's just mine.
Knowing the Lions' luck, Houston's taking Stroud, so Will Anderson goes to Detroit, just like Trayvon Walker in the Aiden Hutchinson situation.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
All right, Butson, what's your hot take?
All right, Aaron's gonna like this
Oh
one.
my God, Detroit won a basketball game.
Congratulations.
Thanks. It was like our 5th win of the year.
Here's my hot take. Aaron's gonna like this one. The Kansas Rock Chalk Jayhawks are gonna repeat as the NCAA basketball champions this year.
Ooh.
They're gonna repeat.
Well,
Hold on.
they do have
I'm touching myself tonight.
they
Sorry, I
do
had
have big dick energy out there in
Yes,
Kansas.
sir. Grady Dick.
Yeah. It's
Kansas
not
loves
cussing,
them
that's
some
his name.
them Jayhawks love them some dick.
I've
Wait a
only
minute.
watched one college basketball game this year, really, in its entirety, and it was Kansas versus
Duke.
Wisconsin or Arizona. I can't remember. It was in that tournament they had.
Hmm.
Let me tell you, Kansas went so cold, but I mean, so did Wisconsin. It was like
Oh yeah.
watching 8th graders shoot at a 10-foot hoop. It was just terrible. But I definitely could see it. College basketball, I think this year is going to be pretty crazy. I think everybody is kind of on the same level, and nobody's like a super 1 seed like Gonzaga was. So, I mean, anything can happen once you get to the tournament. But I definitely could see Kansas winning it all.
I think honestly, I know like in college football, the NIL has kind of like sort of even the playing field, but in basketball, I think it's evened it even more.
Right.
I honestly think like the NIL helps with like these one and dones. I think like they're like, why like yeah, I could go play for the NBA, but if I'm not gonna be a first round pick, I'll just stay and keep getting millions of dollars. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
Yeah.
that might help with keeping basketball players there for at least 2 years to help them. It's like, oh, I'm about to get $1 million or even 10, whatever their money is. I'll just keep getting this. If I'm not going to be a first round pick, if I'm undrafted or if I'm a second round pick, I'm not getting as much money. So let's just stay, better myself, keep getting millions of dollars from the school. Like, if they are really good, they just won't even go to college. So I think it's going to help. It's kind of like college baseball. Like how the MLB, they do have their minor leagues. So if you go to college, it doesn't mean that you're bad. It's just that, I'd rather go get an education instead of just go play baseball right away. Like
It's like I would compare it to more like the NHL where you have all these different paths. Like you can go international, go play over there, or
right.
you can play in college, which a lot of players do, or to get their education as well. Or you can,
Right.
or you have the minor leagues, and then so like there's all these different paths, and I think that's what's pretty great about the NBA as well as the NHL is they have all these different paths that you can take, and there's no like one like for college football. If you're a good football player, college football is really your only chance of making it to the NBA or the NFL, whereas the NHL and the NBA have all these different paths. So it does kind of spread out the talent a bit more, and you see all these. Anybody can win almost any year.
Right.
Yes.
Well, and I'm as a Michigan basketball fan, I am so irritated with my team right now to the point where I'm just like, you know what? Until they prove to me that they can make a run in the tournament, I get it's early, but like it's been. I know.
I don't
I
worry
know.
about college basketball till March, so
Well,
I don't worry about it till football's over.
congratulations, but I do watch my teams, and I think that right now we're in for a rude awakening. And
I just say Michigan sucks every year, and then they go to the Sweet 16. So I'm pretty fine with that.
well,
You got. I know I'm wearing a UC sweatshirt, but that's not.
Michigan has 5 straight Sweet 16s, so
congratulations. We still suck. All right, moving on.
football school now.
Moving on. The college football playoff has been set. On New Year's Eve at 4 p.m., the Michigan Wolverines will take on the TCU Horned Frogs in the Fiesta Bowl in State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. 4 hours after, in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, the Georgia Bulldogs will take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, let me just be completely honest here. Ohio State got in because they are the only one-loss team in the top 25.
Agreed.
TCU.
Okay,
TCU's on. Oh wait, no, they lost.
sorry, they're the only 11-1 team
There you
in,
go.
Season lost.
in the top 25.
There was, I would say, there's a case for Bama to be in. However,
no.
however,
Stop. Just stop.
Bama did not beat the opponents they should have by what they should have. If they would have went and blown out like Texas, or they would have blown out, the teams they should have, and maybe if you don't schedule Austin Peay the week before your rival and you schedule, I don't know, even South Carolina, maybe you get in because, you actually played another well-deserving game. But no, because you want to play 4 non-conference games and 3 of them are against FCS schools, that's why you don't get into the playoffs.
Fair enough.
My rant.
So
maybe if they don't schedule Austin Peay, like let's say they do play South Carolina, who just beat Tennessee, maybe they get in.
And Clemson.
So here's my thing. Bama, if Bama beat either Tennessee or LSU, they're ahead of Ohio State.
Absolutely.
Simple as that.
I agree.
But you can't tell me that a 2-loss Bama team is better than 11-1 Ohio State. Ohio State took care of business. Like, Ohio State's best win is number 11. Bama's is 20. Like, every sign – now, if you want to be completely honest, you could even say Bama doesn't even deserve to be in the top 5. In the Colley bias rankings, they have Bama at number 8. Penn State, out of probably everyone in the top 25, got screwed. In every other ranking that I've seen that's a non-biased ranking, they are at number 7. Their only losses are to 2 and 4. Bama's is to 6, who is whatever, and 17. And 17 LSU is not good. But I just think Bama is that.
If they blow out the teams they should have, then maybe you can make a case for it because they looked so un-Bama-like for most of the year. They don't deserve to be in. And then count the outlier. You can say, LSU was the outlier. And Tennessee was just a really good football team.
I mean, realistically, the only reason Texas is even ranked is because they beat the number 9 team.
No, it's because they're Texas. Same with Notre Dame. That's why Notre Dame is ranked.
But if Bama blew out Texas probably wouldn't even be ranked.
This committee was completely biased towards the ACC, and it showed every single ranking, and it made no sense to me whatsoever because Notre Dame, who lost to Marshall and 3-win Stanford at home, beat every single one of your top 5 ACC teams by double digits. And yet still, there's like 6 ACC teams ranked or whatever. FSU is good. They definitely deserve to be ranked. But like NC State, really? Like, I know they beat North Carolina, but North Carolina's best win was like 3 points against Duke. I don't know. I think they got the top 4 right for this year. I hope I'll be at the Fiesta Bowl, so that'll be fun. Frog down. Starting.
I honestly
Duggan's a dog, though. He definitely should win Heisman because TCU would not be number 3 if it wasn't for Max Duggan, and that's a fact.
Oh yeah.
And I think everyone forgets Max Duggan was TCU's QB2 going into the season. Their QB1 got hurt.
So was JJ McCarthy.
I mean, not really. We didn't really have a starter.
Y'all had a quarterback competition.
Cade was the starter going into the season.
No, he didn't name a starter.
No, but he definitely was the number 1 QB on the depth chart.
He was the previous QB1. You come in a new year. There wasn't.
JJ definitely was number 2, but yeah.
We'll see.
I think this playoffs will be fun. Ohio State versus Georgia will be fun. We'll break all these games down later when it gets closer to the time. No sense in breaking it down now when players aren't all healthy, and
Got guys opting out, entering the transfer
I don't
portal.
think any of these 4 teams will have many players opt out. Some will enter the portal, but we'll break them all down when they get closer, because then we'll have more information. But I think this will be a really fun playoff.
Before we move to the next screen, I just want to put my opinion out there to everyone here about the Associated Press. Okay. The Heisman Trophy is a joke. The fact that you
Yes.
put those 4, which I understand your criteria, the four Heisman finalists that get invited, what happens is they vote for their Heisman, and then the top 4 get invited. So they've already voted for who has won. So those 4 ended in the top 4 of the Heisman. In my opinion, I think Stetson Bennett is 4th, Stroud's 3rd, Duggan's 2nd, and Williams is 1st. That's what I think it's going to be, but that's not my point. The fact that you don't invite, like, just throw out whatever your criteria is. The fact that you just don't even invite as a courtesy to Blake Corum and Hendon Hooker is just a joke. Those 2 were probably the best players of the year, considering that they came from pretty much wherever. And I mean, you could say Max Duggan as well, but the other 3 were favorites to win the Heisman, and then they both crapped the bed. The other 2 just happened to get hurt, and probably Hendon, Hooker, and Corum would have been the favorites going into the Heisman candidacy. So they should at least be invited. I think it's a load of crap that they weren't just because they got hurt. Like, that sucks. That really sucks.
I
And
think
I
if
think
Hendon Hooker doesn't get hurt, he definitely might win the Heisman.
He'd be at
South
least one.
Carolina was a bad game, but Hooker played unbelievably all year, and by far was the Heisman favorite. Williams was slow at the beginning of the year, and then he just dropped all these stat bombs, and that's what the Heisman Trophy is to the media, is just okay, who can put up the best stats, not who is. The Heisman Trophy is who is the best player in college football, and a lot of it is based on team success and not like who really is the best player. Because, like, in my opinion, TCU is not at 3 if it isn't for Max Duggan. And I know he was the backup going into the year, but again, they're still not number 3 if Max Duggan is not their quarterback. USC probably still loses to Utah twice with whoever their quarterback is.
I mean, I just team success most definitely has a key factor in it.
It definitely is, but again, TCU is not number 3 without Max Duggan.
Right.
What he did against Kansas State, he literally nearly passed out in the end zone fighting to get his team in the game because his defense gave up a couple big plays here and there. And I don't know why you don't QB sneak it on 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line, but they definitely kind of screwed TCU over with. They didn't review the 3rd and goal play, which I think definitely was a touchdown based on. If you watch the play, he definitely tipped the ball over the plane before he was down. But again,
So
it is what it is.
So
It's just a joke now.
The Heisman Trophy is set, and this is how it's heard for years and what it is. The Heisman is if you were to take this specific player off of that specific team, that team would not win the Heisman, or that team would not be successful. So, for example, Stetson Bennett, if you were to take him off of Georgia, their team would have a more significant amount of losses than what they have now.
Absolutely.
That's the point of the Heisman.
But that's about it.
So, in my opinion, it really should go to Caleb or Max because, like you said, TCU would not be there. And honestly, USC would not be anywhere close to the playoff without Caleb Williams. I mean, their defense is atrocious, and they still have
their offensive line.
Right, and he's still running around there breaking tackles like.
But I mean, they're just gonna give it to the guy who's the most flashy, who puts up the biggest numbers. And Caleb Williams, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he wins it again next year because that's all they care about, and it's not about who actually is the best player in college football. I personally think the best player in college football is Brock Bowers. I think Georgia is not Georgia without Brock Bowers.
Okay, well that's just wrong.
I
He does not carry
watch a
their
Georgia
team.
game. Brock Bowers is everywhere.
Okay, but does he play defense?
No, but I mean,
And that's their best aspect. So
but I
that's just
think Brock Bowers is the best player in college football,
I guess that's
regardless of position.
I
Regardless
guess,
of position,
I
Brock
guess
Bowers
that's your
is the best
opinion.
player in college football, and he's a sophomore.
I mean, I guess
All
that
right.
can be your opinion, I guess. But
Maybe that should have been my hot take,
that's JJ's award next year, so it don't matter.
or Donovan Edwards.
Moving on.
Down the sideline.
Yeah, moving on down the sideline to this game.
So this is the game. Is there a way we can get your top bar out the screen?
Yeah, I was gonna. No, apparently not.
He
1 second.
He done.
Yeah, I don't know. Wait. Oh, I know what to do. Hold on. Here we go. Yay!
All right, the game. Army versus Navy.
Not the game.
Army.
There's a name.
Game.
This is America's game.
It's the
Army
game.
versus Navy. Army has a 51.2% chance to win over Navy's 48.8% chance. Navy is a 1.5 favorite over Army, and Navy leads the series 59-53 to 7. Now, these teams are absolutely atrocious. No offense, but
Army is playing for bowl eligibility.
At least in regards to record. I shouldn't say like your skills, but in regards to record, not good. Yes, like Andrew said, Army is playing for bowl eligibility, and I don't even know how that would go, but Navy and Army. What do you guys think?
Well, there's one very clear thing to me. Neither one of these teams like to throw the ball.
It's those academy schools. I tell you what. Here's the quarterbacks. I'll read off the quarterback stats for you.
Good God.
So Navy's quarterback has 787 yards this season, with 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Army's quarterback has 335 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Interesting.
They're both Navy's averaging 91 yards passing per game, and Army is averaging 81 yards passing per game. So they really like to run the ball, and they run that wishbone triple option offense.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, I know Navy's quarterback can run. He's got some legs on him.
They all can in those academy schools, Clink. That's the criteria. They're basically glorified wide receivers.
Yeah.
Or running backs. I think the Dolphins drafted Navy's quarterback last year, and they converted him to like running back / wide receiver.
I'm pretty sure he has to do like 4-ish years of service or something first.
No, they don't have to do that anymore.
Really?
No, they got rid of that.
Wow. All right. Well,
so this is tough because it's just tough. So total yards, Army 385.5 yards a game to Navy's 330. Yards allowed, they both give up literally pretty much the same. Navy gives up 356, Army gives up 365. So that's that. You guys want to make your picks?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Navy has the better run defense by far. Like, it's almost an 100-yard per game difference. And considering these schools both like to run a lot, whoever has the better run defense probably going to win. But because this is a rivalry game, everything goes out the window. So I am picking Army to lose to Navy. Go midshipmen.
I mean, Navy might have the better run defense, but Army also runs it better. So
I'm taking Navy. I don't care.
Aaron?
God. Well, I don't really give a shit about Navy. See what I did there? So I'm gonna go with Army.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
I'm cringing.
Didn't curse. Hey, YouTube, I did not curse. Not this time.
Clink, just so you know, you have a 2-point lead on Jacob in predictions in college football.
They're just
Going
numbers.
into the 42 bowl games, we will predict all of them.
And yes. So who did Aaron pick? What did you pick?
Yeah,
Aaron picked Army, and hearing 42 bowl games, that's
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun.
We'll separate it over a certain amount of weeks.
Actually, Army missed the bowl game because they already scheduled all the bowl games. So
this is true. So poor Army. Poor Army.
just play better.
So this is tough because like Andrew said, literally everything goes out the window in this game. Like one team could suck, and it wouldn't matter.
I always love this game. It's so fun to watch because it's just like completely different than all the college football you see through the first 13 games.
The over-under of this game is 32.5. So not going to be a very high.
They'll hit the over. I'll bet the over on that. It'll be like a 27-24 type of game.
I'll go the over. I'm also going to take Navy at -1.5. I think Navy tends to outplay Army in this game, and like Andrew said, I do think that they have a better rush defense than Army, even though Army runs it better. I think Navy figures it out, and Navy covers at -1.5. Also, Navy's been pretty much in a lot of games all year. I mean, they
almost came back and beat Notre Dame. So
right. So
and they did beat UCF, although Army is riding a 2-game win streak against UConn and UMass. So, but
those are powerhouses right there. Ooh.
I mean, UMass, Don Brown defense,
44-7 was the score of that game.
Yeah, not good for Don Brown.
Poor Don Brown.
Oh well, he's old. He doesn't care.
Yeah, give me Navy.
NFL's best.
All right.
NFL's best. Aaron, you have 4 minutes to go with NFL's best with your truly.
Well, thank you for the introduction, Botson. We had a pretty interesting week of football this past Sunday and Thursday and Monday. So to start off on Thursday, we had the Bills continuing their fatherhood of the Patriots franchise. Josh Allen owns you, and he's going to own you for however many years that Tom Brady did, and probably longer. So have fun with that. Jets, Vikings. Vikings continue to pull out close games, no matter who the opponent is. That's all I'm going to say on that. Mike White, your ass. Chiefs, Bengals heard all the noise coming in before that game. They heard Justin Reed and everyone running their mouths about locking everyone up. And Chiefs, the more you fucked around, the more you found out. And you found out that the Bengals are better. Steelers, Falcons. These Steelers, for some reason, don't want to accept that they need to tank and get a high draft pick, which is why they continue to win. And the Falcons might want to consider looking at Desmond Ridder because Mariota is ass. Packers, Bears. Well, I don't even want to talk about this game. Aaron Rodgers still owns you guys. Jags, Lions. Lions, we'll see you next week. Good win.
We
Commanders.
We did not punt. Did not punt one time. First time in the regular season that's happened in 4 years. That's right. The Lions before anybody else this year.
Don't get it. Then Giants, Commanders. Just eliminate ties at this point.
Please. We're begging.
Add a double overtime or something, and then, I don't know, do something after that.
Roger Goodell. Admit college is better and convert to the 2-point overtime conversion.
All right. And then Titans, Eagles, A.J. Brown rubbed his nutsack all over the Titans defense, and it was hilarious to watch. Broncos, Ravens, Lamar's hurt, and my fantasy season is probably done. Browns, Texans. Browns scored 3 more points than the amount of accusations Deshaun has. Seahawks, Rams. Rams are dead. Geno, spill that guy. Dolphins, 49ers. The Rams are so petty that they stole Baker Mayfield from the 49ers. Like, really? Come on. Raiders, Chargers. Raiders are not dead either. I don't understand, but they're still very much in it. Colts, Cowboys. This game was close for quarters, and Then the Cowboys just bent the Colts over the table. They said they had enough. And then Saints and Bucks, Tom Brady, with however many minutes left in a game, down 2 scores, is the greatest player of all time. And that was the NFL's best with yours truly.
Good. Well, when we come back, we will break down this week's games of the NFL, and we will round it out with this week's episode. So we'll see you when we get back. Let's just go into
Detroit hockey is back, baby.
All right, here
beat
we
the Lightning
go.
4-2. Let's go.
This is week 14 of the National Football League. Now, what we're going to do is, since we have a little bit of time this week because we have less college football games, each of us are going to pick one game to talk about. Obviously, we're all going to talk about Minnesota and Detroit, but besides that game, one of these games on this page that you want to talk about and that piques your interest. We'll start with the Aaron Clinker.
Well, you know what? You guys already know what game I'm gonna talk about. Vikings are at my.
No, I just
that as a group.
I said we're gonna talk about that as a group. Besides that game, pick a game.
Besides that game, Clink, you need to listen.
Are you done? All right, so Eagles Giants. I'm really scared for the Giants because the Eagles have just been on a roll lately. And I really, really want them to beat the Eagles. So Minnesota and Philly are tied up for the first place in the playoffs, which obviously if the season ended today and Philly was 10-2, they would get the head-to-head, so they'd get the first seed. But I just need them to lose 2 more games. And after that, I will not have a problem with you. Come on, Giants. Come on.
All right. Andrew Schultz.
I am going to talk about the greatest rivalry in the NFL, the Ravens and the Steelers. This game is going to be fun because these two teams hate each other. Also, it's Ty Huntley versus Kenny Pickett. That'll be interesting. The Steelers have not lost since TJ Watt has been back. And I think this game will be really fun. I literally traded Lamar Jackson to Clink in fantasy, and then he proceeds to get injured the first week after I trade him. So that was funny.
Derek Carr, and he's playing the Rams. I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, he probably will. He'll probably throw for 7,000 yards because Jalen Ramsey can't cover a parked car. But I think Ravens Steelers will be really fun. They hate each other. It'll be hard hitting, and we'll see what this team can do if they can keep Mike Tomlin's above 500 record safe.
And Andrew, you're just wrong. TJ Watt and the Steelers have lost since he came back.
Okay, they've lost 1 game since he's been back then.
Yeah, to the Bengals.
To the Bengals, so...
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Okay, They've lost 1 game since he's returned. Versus the 6 games they lost without.
Didn't you say that Kansas City was going to put the Bengals back in place? Didn't you say that?
Didn't you also say Minnesota was going to beat the Cowboys?
Okay. Guess what? We're 10-2, and your team's 5-7. So I don't want to hear it.
40-3. 40-3.
Okay.
Even the Lions didn't lose to the Cowboys that bad.
Yeah, let's just compare that.
Yeah. Let's compare a rotten apple to a rotten apple.
Let's see who's talking after 4:00 on Sunday. Okay. You're going to be 3 bottles down in Jack Daniels by the time that game's over.
So speaking of the Bengals, before we get to the toxicity, is just you can feel the presence. Speaking of the Bengals, this is a big game for Cincinnati. Like if they lose to Cleveland, it's like I'm not saying they won't make the playoffs, but it's going to be tough. You can't lose to Cleveland twice.
Well, they got swept by Cleveland last year and made it to the Super Bowl. So I think if they lose, they'll be okay.
Yes, but doesn't 9-4 sound a lot better than 8-5?
I wouldn't know. My
I
team's
don't
already
think
won.
it matters as long as you make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right, but you're in Cincinnati. You gotta beat Deshaun Watson. Come on.
I don't know. Myles Garrett might sacked Joe Burrow 23 times in a game.
Look, I'm going to say this about Joe Burrow real quick. His decision making has gotten a lot better as the season has gone on. Like I don't think I've seen him try and force a deep ball
because he
since
doesn't
week
hold
1.
on to the ball like he used to.
He doesn't have
no.
more than 2.5 seconds to throw the ball.
He's making good decisions with that much time to throw. Like, come on.
Literally, the ball is.
He can't throw it beyond 10 yards because then he'll die.
You guys ever see that video of like the offensive line? The guy snaps it. The offensive line just stands up, and the entire defense just rushes the quarterback.
Yeah, that's from Longest Yard.
And it's captioned like, "Don't piss off your offensive line" or something like that. I don't remember what it was.
This is true. The amount of times I've been doing that.
Yeah, that's Joe Burrow's offensive line, except they're not mad at
him. Oops, I missed a tackle. Oops, I didn't block there. Sorry.
Lael Collins.
Oops, your leg is broken. That's my fault.
Abraham Lincoln's bodyguard and Lael Collins might be the 2 worst bodyguards of all time.
Or JFK's bodyguard.
He was shot in a limo by the CIA. Okay.
Well, that's on them. Should have had a better limo.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. The game of the week in TC Sports.
It definitely is the game of the 1:00 games. I'll tell you that.
The Skull Vikings head to Detroit in Ford Field to take on the hungry, the mighty, the knee-eating Detroit Lions. Boys, are we ready?
No.
Are we ready for the Lions to just take some kneecaps? We're taking Dalvin Cook's kneecaps, and we're keeping them.
Dude, Dalvin Cook is made of glass, okay? You could flick him and he would get injured.
Kirk Cousins, Lil Kirko, Kirk Cousins, Cole Cash Cousins, whatever you want to call them, don't matter. Lions by 4.
Okay, but
by 4.
You forget. This game is at 1:00, and what? I'm trying to think. What's Kirk's nickname? The Afternoon Assassin.
Okay, well, the Afternoon Assassin is going to be dead.
Well, but if you short assassin, it's just ass. So that's what Kirk's going to be this week.
Listen, this game is either going to be a shootout down the whoever has the ball last, like where Jared Goff turns into the Godfather and Kirk Cousins just has his chains under his pads, or it's like we're just like Andrew said the other night, like we're just going to get Cole's Cash.
Cole's Cash Cousins versus Goofball, or the Godfather versus Lil Kirko.
That's what this game is going to probably turn into.
Did you see what we just did to the Jaguar? I mean, we took the Jaguar and just ate it up. What do you
Time out. No.
Hold up. It's the Jaguars.
No. Let me finish.
I understand they beat the Ravens last week.
No. Let me finish. Let me finish. The Jaguar. I'm saying like the animal, the Jaguar.
Oh.
Like, do you see what we just did to the Jaguar? What do you think your silly little Viking's gonna do?
Wear the Lions as a fur coat?
More like a Jaguar, because that lion's coming for you.
That's a good one.
That was a good one. I have no comeback. Okay. All right. Let's make the picks.
All I'm saying is the only clapping that's going to be happening is the Lions pounding your cheeks. Okay.
Well, if it's
wait till Justin Jefferson takes Jeff Okudah, bends him under the table.
I'm sorry. What did Justin Jefferson do last time?
Start controlling him like a puppet. But who'd you guys not lock up? Who'd you guys not lock up? Our third receiver, KJ Osborne.
Hey,
I think KJ Osborne locked it off.
Okay, you're not stopping Aiden Hutchinson and
shiver me timbers! I'm so scared. Bring it.
You know who's going to destroy you? James Houston. You don't even know who that is. He's going to destroy you.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't know who he is, because he's a bum.
Yeah, that's why he had 3 snaps and got 2 sacks against the Bills.
I mean, guys, really.
And he is tied with Aiden Hutchinson for most sacks by a rookie in their first 2 games.
Yeah, that's really sad. That is really sad. I'm sorry.
He's only played 2 games.
Aiden Hutchinson was the 2nd overall pick. He has played in every single game that I know of.
I said it. Most sacks by a rookie through their first 2 games.
Oh gosh, I don't remember asking.
Silly.
I don't remember asking how you like your dick.
Watch it.
It's going right up your butt.
No. This is going to be Justin Jefferson to the Lions defense on Sunday.
That's
Okay.
bestiality.
When Justin Jefferson has like 2 catches for 22 yards by the third quarter, we'll see who's talking.
Okay, let's make the picks for this page.
Dalvin Cook owns your defense. Just remember that. Remember who
I'm
your
sorry.
daddy is.
Who?
Remember who your daddy is.
The Glass Man? Who?
The glass man runs all over your fucking defense.
The only thing that's going to be cooking from Dalvin is Russell Wilson. Okay, that's how he's going to be cooking, just like Russell Wilson.
Sir, you are making no sense right now.
All right,
Dalvin
Aaron
Cook
Clinker.
will cook like Russell Wilson.
All right, shut the fuck up. Let's make our picks.
Hey, Andrew.
All right.
Andrew, look at me.
You're up here. You need to be down here, just like where the Lions are most of the years.
Aaron.
All right.
Dad.
I'm picking
Andrew,
the
make your
Raiders.
picks.
I'm picking the Raiders because the Rams are dead and they're losing out. I am going to pick Minnesota to lose. Give me Detroit. Detroit is dead, but we're still going to beat you. Give me the Steelers. Give me the Browns. Massage Watson coming to town. Heard Cincinnati has a lot of good massage parlors, so he'll be relaxed. Give me the Bills. Give me the Cowboys because Houston is deader than a doornail. Give me Philly and give me the Titans.
Aaron.
All right, give me the Raiders. Give me the Lions to lose. Go Vikings. Give me the Steelers because I don't know how Tyler Huntley's gonna do. Give me the Bengals. I hope they sack Deshaun Watson 24 times. Wink, wink. Give me the Bills. Give me the Cowboys, unfortunately. Give me the Eagles, unfortunately. And give me the Titans. King Henry tends to own the Jags.
Man, you're really salty about the Eagles owning Kirk Cousins on Monday night, aren't you?
All righty then. Give me the Raiders. Give me the kneecapping taking Lions. That was awful. Okay, anyways.
Next time, leave with something better before
we'll just pretend I just didn't say anything.
Oh no, I'm
It's recorded. It's gonna be on the internet.
It's recorded. You're gonna get canceled.
Like zoinks, man. Okay. Give me Baltimore. Because just Steelers. Just no. You're done. Mike Tomlin's gonna have his first losing season as head coach this year, and it's gonna happen. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals in Paycor Stadium.
Paul Brown.
I'm conflicted. Give me Buffalo. Give me Dallas because, oh, dear God. Houston, I'm so sorry what's about to happen for you.
I think Micah Parsons is going to essentially the quarterback.
Can we just put this out there? Sorry to stop the picks, but is it me or the Cowboys kind of had an easy schedule?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they played the Vikings. They're playing the Texans. They just
played the Lions.
Yeah, they played Detroit. Honestly, if you're going to talk about anybody being frauds, it might be the Cowboys.
Well, the Cowboys are frauds every year. We know this.
Because they kind of blew a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter to the Packers. And let me just tell you, the Lions didn't even allow 14 points to the Packers.
Hey, neither did the Vikings.
I mean, I guess maybe not. But here's the thing. They still have the Eagles, Tennessee, and Washington. Washington's not going to be an easy feat. So, I mean, Houston and Jacksonville are their next 2 games. So I think Dallas is making the playoffs.
Well, yeah, that.
But
it depends on what Jaguars team shows up. If it's the team that went for 2 against the Ravens and won and played how they played all that game, then Dallas might be in trouble. But if they play how they played against Detroit, Dallas is just gonna have to flick a.
Hey, Detroit is back up. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Okay, we back up.
Still behind the Vikings.
Here's the thing: rarely ever do you see especially early in the season. I mean, I know it's later, but even then, usually anytime it's in, you never see anyone favored by more than 10. It's always single digits.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas is favored by 17.
It's Houston.
And Buffalo.
If Mike McDaniel doesn't pull his starters against Houston, the Dolphins might have dropped 100.
True.
120.
Anyways, didn't mean to stop my picks, but give me Philadelphia and give me Tennessee.
All right.
Man. Oh, righty then. All right, guys. We'll start with who started last time? Andrew, I think. Aaron, pick a game you want to talk about.
All these games suck. I'm sorry. You got to be brutally honest here. Actually, no, there is one game that I'm kind of interested in. Dolphins and Chargers. I think that is going to be really fun.
Ooh.
Tua
Battle
versus
of
Herbert.
Tua versus Herbert. Oh, this is on Sunday. Is that on Sunday night? Yeah, it's on Sunday
Sunday
night.
night, it got flexed.
Been waiting
Flexed
all
Sunday
day
night.
for Sunday
And the
night.
Broncos Chiefs were flexed out of Sunday night football.
Yeah, I can't.
That's how bad the
I
Denver.
wouldn't want to watch that. No. Actually, have the Chiefs and Broncos even played yet?
Yes, they have already. I believe.
How did that even go? I don't remember.
Let's see.
I believe the Chiefs won because the Broncos are terrible.
Well, of course the Chiefs won, but how close was it?
I don't know. Maybe they haven't.
No, they haven't. This is their first time. They play again January 1st.
Dear
So after
God.
this week, January 1st. So
I'm gonna
I'm
be
sorry.
hungover. I'm gonna be hungover on New Year's Day, and I gotta watch that crap. No, thank you.
They'll make you start drinking all over again.
All right. Yeah, Andrew.
I'm looking at the San Francisco 49ers versus Tampon Bay and the Buccaneers as my 4 o'clock game to watch because the other 4 o'clock games, frankly, are going to be kind of brutal to watch. San Fran's defense versus San Fran's defense is low-key carrying the Niners to whatever record they have.
Low-key?
Not low-key, high-key. Not high-key, they just are.
Yeah. They just are.
The 49ers are basically the Iowa Hawkeyes of the NFL, except they actually win games. And
they have more weapons on offense than Iowa ever has.
That too. Although Iowa did have Noah Fant and TJ Hawkinson on their team at one point. So
San Francisco's got Debo, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, who's basically a glorified right tackle at this point. CMC, like, bro, Kyle Shanahan's just collecting infinity stones at this point.
Literally.
So, I mean, Brock Purdy doesn't have to play Super Bowl because Jimmy G has one game. He's like 10-2 without throwing a touchdown pass in a game. So this could be pretty interesting. It'll be the Niners defense versus Tom Brady, who the Saints basically, after years of making 28-3 memes, it caught back up to them last week. So that was pretty.
And also, Mark Ingram should not have stepped out of bounds. That was the stupidest play I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, also, how do you not get it on 3rd and 1 as well? You need a yard, just running up the middle.
They have Andy Dalton as their quarterback. What do you expect them to do?
I mean, it is what it is. But that game will be fun. We'll see what a competent defense can do against Tom Brady.
Don't play soft zone.
I was gonna talk about the 49ers and my boy Brady. But since we already talked about it, we'll talk about the Patriots and Cardinals. I think the Pats really, really need to win this game if they want to make a push because their division finally is probably the best, one of the best in the NFL. Finally. I never would have thought going into the season that would be it. I really thought it would be the AFC West, but Patriots really need to win, which I think they might actually change their offensive scheme a little bit. I know what's his face said I can't think of his name. It's blanking.
Bill Belichick.
Thank you, Bill Belichick. I don't know why it was blanking. Bill Belichick said, "Oh, we can't make any big adjustments this late in the season. Like, we just need to stick with what we're doing." And I'm like, well, yes, but also, Matt Patricia is the worst coach I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So,
Andrew knows better than anybody.
Yeah.
But I do think that the Patriots are gonna get better, and they're the 8th seed right now, and the AFC race is pretty close. The NFC is not as close as the AFC is, and I feel like that's always true.
Well, the NFC is like you have like the 3 top teams, and then you have just an absolute cluster for the final 4.
It's like it's the top
Tampa, who's going to go 500 and win their division.
There's always that one team every year.
Okay. Let's do it. Aaron, give us your picks.
Joe Burrow's son, I mean the Chiefs versus Broncos country. Give me Joe Burrow's son. I'm sorry. I mean the Chiefs. Panthers, Seahawks. Give me Daddy Geno Smith and his revenge tour. It's comeback season and he ain't right back. Buccaneers, 49ers. Give me the Niners. Dolphins, Chargers. Give me the Dolphins because the Chargers' run defense is atrocious. And then Patriots, Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals only just because that the Patriots' offense is not very good.
Andrew.
Russ is cooking like you would in the ghetto. This man is throwing slices of Kraft sliced cheese on toast, throwing it in the microwave and calling it grilled cheese. So he's going to cook up exactly 9 points, and the Chiefs are going to win 32-9.
Probably.
MVP Geno Smith is going to cook against the Panthers. Hashtag Geno for MVP. Give me Seattle. San Fran's defense is going to carry them, and Brock Purdy is going to
Big
not
cock
turn the
rock.
ball over, and they're going to beat Tampa Bay. Miami is going to beat the Chargers, probably by 3 possessions because Brandon Staley needs to be ran out of town. And then Clink, is Call of Duty still out? Yeah, that's still up and running?
Yeah.
Yeah, so give me the Patriots.
I don't trust the Patriots against mobile quarterbacks. I saw what Justin Fields did.
Mac and cheese is going to be cooking. Okay.
So most of my picks I made for NFL, if not all of them, have been made from this pick pool that I do.
And that's why you're in last.
And well, I started doing that like week 4. And this week in my picks, I picked Denver to beat the Chiefs. I'm not doing that because, dear God,
you're already down 8 points.
I'm going with Kansas City. You know, if I'm wrong, what it is, but literally no one could just sit here and say Denver's going to win this game. However,
actually, I don't even think Broncos fans would.
Give me Carolina over Seattle.
There are still Broncos fans?
Carolina over Seattle. Carolina ever since they just been playing better football, more as a team, more just smart football ever since then. And I think Seattle, I think it's gonna be a close game. I don't think it's gonna go like that way either way, but I do think Carolina will win this game close. I mean, Seattle's only favored by 3.5, but Foreman's gonna run like crazy. I mean, Carolina just beat Denver, which I know that's not really saying anything, but
Carolina has Sam Darnold starting.
That's like saying Alabama beat Austin Peay.
Or Alabama, Texas by 1.
Anyways, I'm actually gonna go with San Francisco this week against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers.
Catch up.
I hope I'm wrong, but that's
Like, you and me are at the top, only separated by 1 point. So
give me Miami to win this game over the Chargers because I think Miami is just better. And give me Arizona to beat New England this week on Monday Night Football. Now, this ends your favorite podcast, your favorite.
It's your mom too. I'm talking to you, audience.
To get your sports information and your update on your weekly sports. My name is Jacob Butzine. Alongside Aaron Klinker and Andrew Schultz, you have TC Sports. I'm going to play you out of here. Here we go.
Hey, Clink, what do we always say, right?
Tom Brady's assistant.
And
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is a PAB.